Today I shared, I think it was episode 4, season 1 on Guy Channel, Initiation. And I love this guy. I think that anybody who's searching for the truth, I've said, go on and watch that show. It's really good. But in this episode, he's talking about the tree of knowledge and the Akashic records and all of the different things in different vibrations and stuff of information and knowledge and the path to enlightenment. And it all has to do with actually doing the work to get there, so that you gain the knowledge by doing the work. And that's why all these people who think like they can sell you the dime store version of healing or raise your vibration, don't worry about that old healing thing. Just raise your vibration. It happens. No, you raise your vibration by doing the work, by healing, by facing old wounds. And that is how you raise your vibration. There is no dime store way to do it. And he even talks about like these people who channel or, take their consciousness from this reality and go into the reality where the records are held of all things. And when they go in the Akashic records, and when they go in there, their low vibration interferes with the high vibration message. So it interferes with it. And how important it is to be at that vibration. And that's why I'm always talking about like the firmament. It is to hold in this vibration, because this is like a petri dish. And then you can't go past where you vibrate to. So you are held back from the other realms because you can't progress past the glass ceiling that you hold for yourself. Because the glass ceiling is your understanding and interpretation of knowledge, and you have to experience it and then do your work and your lessons and understanding so that you can progress towards enlightenment. So it's not like it is that it just seems like there's so many people who want to sell you like this dime store version of raise your vibration and healing, stop eating meat and then you'll be all healed. When it is so much about the process. And that's what he was talking about on the episode of why when the apple, what it represents, and about it represents the knowledge. And if you bit from the apple, then you were like skipping the lessons. You weren't going out and expanding yourself. You just wanted to like suck off the teat off someone else. And that is another thing, what I always am talking about too, is when people come to you, oh, give me your information, show me all your what are they called? I say them all the time. Not your examples. Show me your evidence. Show me your evidence. Show me, convince me of what you believe. Like, I'm not here to convince you of anything. It is your own path that leads you towards enlightenment. Your own inner being is guiding you. You don't need me to give you anything. Whatever I give you is for my knowledge. It's for my understanding. It is what I came into this world to have trigger my awakening, my memories. Yours is completely different. So whatever I'm talking about could be utter nonsense, hogwash to you. So it doesn't do any good. And even if it is valid or valuable information for them, unless they go out and experience it and learn it, it's not going to have the same impact because they didn't really learn it. It was just given to them, information given to them. And that's why I talk all the time about, you can't go in and just do the test and get the answers handed to you and go in and do the test and think like, oh, I won, I did right. Because you didn't learn it. It's all, the whole purpose, the whole process is about the learning. It's about the expansion of yourself. It's about your own enlightenment. It isn't about, to please somebody else. It isn't about to get the high score, to outdo somebody else. It's all about your own progression as a soul, your soul's progression through its own expansion of self. So your own consciousness going through experiences to learn and gain evidence, or learn about itself through to, something just crossed my mind. So learning about yourself through experience. And so experience, and that's why the whole thing with reincarnation and the process through going through the soul journey and having to go through, like, you can't just come in, like, I don't just come in and play this part. I would have to play all of the different parts to play this part. So you play all the different roles, and so that you can experience the different roles. So you have played the rich man, you've played the poor man, you've played every example that you can come up with. Anything that you can come up with is a creation by you that you have done yourself, because you are creating it and it's all happening at once. So whatever you create, it becomes that is. And it's just where your energy is focused is on the present in this reality. And otherwise, if you took your focus and you focused on that experience, you created this experience. Like my daughter was telling me, oh, because she had a house fire. And we were driving and she was talking about, what a weird experience it is. I think it was something about the fires or something going on. I don't know. About losing everything, I think is what she was talking about. But what a weird experience it is to wake up and to, you have your white noise next to you and there's smoke everywhere. You can't see anything. There's, the smoke alarm melted. So that didn't wake her up. The cat was knocked out, didn't wake her up. What woke her up? I think it was just her guides woke her up. And when she woke up and it was all smoky and she didn't know what was going on and everything like that, in that whole experience, and what it felt like for her to go through that. And when she was talking about, what was I going to say? It was something about, what'll come to me. But I think it was something about loss and, well, it's always about having to rebuild yourself. And going through these traumatic experiences, then it is where you start by building yourself. When you go through these traumatic experiences, I know that's not what I was going to talk about. So that's going to go put me on a whole thing about, my own experience and how you have to rebuild yourself after traumatic experiences when you lose everything. And you can't get stuck there. You don't ever want to get stuck. I wish I could think of what I was talking about. I feel so scattered still. Man, my sleep is just totally jacked up. Oh my God. Stella woke me up this morning and I was in this deep, deep dream. It was so real. And this is what I was talking about. Oh, the focus of your energy. Because in this dream, I was completely there. I was there. This experience was totally happening. For some reason, I was given this song list, all these Rolling Stones songs, and I was going to be singing them with somebody on a stage. And I mean, this was a whole experience that was going on. Oh, I remember. Okay, so back to the fire. So focusing your energy and focusing on that experience that was happening right now. So she said, that she was lucky to be alive. And I said, in another reality, you probably aren't. That probably didn't go out that way. I mean, it probably went a different direction. And, because all realities are available. Everything is out there. Everything is available. And so it's like when you go in the fun house, like all those different mirrors, but it's the one that you're looking at. The one you're focused on is how you're going to see yourself reflected back. So whatever all the experiences, so you could take your focus, just like what I was talking about with the dream, and you're really there, you're really in that place. But, our bodies are attached to this one, so it pulls us back in all the time to this reality. But our consciousness can go out and live all sorts of realities. And it is definitely where you focus your consciousness out. Because even if, this is what I think, even if because I've learned this during quarantine, being in lockdown, is they can hold your body, but they can't hold your mind. So even in prison, when they put those people in those cells by themselves and stuff, they can hold you there, and you can let your mind go crazy. You can go crazy Or you can just go into a meditative state and, put your consciousness somewhere else. Go where you want to go. Don't stay there with your body. But, a lot of people just panic and, just focus on their body and what's lacking and what they don't have. But that is the experience. That is the lesson. That is what they're learning from. So, who knows what their lessons are or whatever. But that is what the whole thing is about. The different realities. It's all of wherever you are focused, and they're all being created. And you do have to play all the different roles. So because it's your experience, it's your own consciousness that is creating these experiences. So you want to go in, and this is something that drives people crazy about me. Because every single thing that will go on, I'll talk about my perspective. Because to me, that is what it's all about. It's the more we understand one another's perspective, the more that we have a deeper understanding and the less we have to fight about, right? So I'm always sharing that. Now, all the time, ever since I was younger, and people see it as like some kind of weird, like narcissistic kind of thing, like, oh, it's only you that matters. Oh, it's just you. It's how you see things, I guess. And it's like, no, I just think that it's interesting to see how we can all see things. We can make one situation and we can all look at it from different perspectives and see it so differently from each other. So my idea, my vision, oof, somebody wants in. Hold on, hopefully they don't knock it over. Hold on. Hey, Jerome, okay, Stella, are we coming or are we just sitting there? What are we doing here? Okay, I'm gonna shut the door. I don't know what you want me to do. Okay, I'm gonna shut the door. I'm not letting all the heat out. If you want to come in, you gotta turn around and come in. And come on. Get up if you want to come in. Okay. Go outside. She does this all the time. I know her scratch. Hers is that big heavy one pounding. Like Trixie's is more of a like hit it bitch. Anyways, but she's been doing this all the time. She'll want to come in, she'll cry at the door, I'll open it, and then she'll just sit and stare at me. Okay? Oh, she's crying. I don't know what. I know it has to do with her just being miserable and just being so focused on her pain. But see, that is the thing with their consciousness. They don't understand that the pain can go away. I keep trying to tell, there's just so many things that they can't understand the concept. Like we are more multidimensional because of that ability to understand more concepts. So the more perspective that we share, the more it opens up these ideals. So, it makes perfect sense. Like if you are going to play this part, then you're going to go in and play the other part. So you can see both sides of it. So you can understand how both people feel, because that helps you to learn about yourself. So it completely makes sense to me about that you have to come in and play all the different roles. And it's just, it's fascinating to me too, like as a soul journey, soul being, if you're looking at things from the soul perspective, which another thing in the Gaia channel, now that I'm rewatching, it's reminding me of different things that he talked about. But he talks about all the beings that are up in the higher dimensions, how they just look down and they can watch us like we're on TV or something. And that's what they told me when I was a little kid, that they watch us all the time. And that's why I'm always like, people who think like they can get away with something, like you can do something and somebody's going to, as long as nobody's eyes are on you, they can get away with it. No. You got eyes on you all the time. You always have beings with you. You always have beings watching you. It is your own vibration that it makes you not aware of it. And it's all of our vibration, that holds us down, because when you raise your vibration, you start being aware of this other existences, other realms. And that is what we're headed towards with this enlightenment, this ascension, is opening ourselves up to all of these realms. because that is where we're going to start with this galactic travel and healing ourselves with the quantum system. And I saw a guy who was explaining something about consciousness today, and he was saying about the subconscious, where, you know, all of these people, can you remember, this is where I'm so horrible, I can't repeat things back. Like, I can see them and understand them. I can kind of rudiment or whatever, you know, kind of half-ass tell you what it was, but it was these different levels of consciousness. And the one that we're going into is the quantum one. It's the connection of our subconscious and conscious connecting or something. But that is what I had heard so much about with the money system. We're going into a quantum system. The healing is going into a quantum system. Our energy, everything is going into this other system that is a part of us. Because then I also saw somebody talking about they've realized that we have energy coming out of our hands. And that was something when I went to those classes and was doing that Reiki and stuff, that was fascinating. If you don't know, all you do is you just start moving your hands together and you start feeling that there's something there. You can actually start feeling something, and you can get it bigger and you can get it smaller, but you can feel it. It's really trippy. So, but you got to focus on, oh, I just felt the heat too. It is actual energy, and we have so much energy. But it was saying something about, like, we can emit like you kind of like that kinetic kind of energy. Like, you can move things by pushing your hand out and forcing that energy out. Like, we're going to be learning so much about things like that. But that's why we have to be in a higher state of consciousness. Because can you imagine some of these people, like, you know, people who are destroying communities, if they had those abilities, like, we'd be fucked. So you don't get to have abilities when you're at a lower state of consciousness, because you are, you know, you haven't learned enough about yourself. You haven't expanded yourself. You haven't taken to value that you can harm others and that people are all watching. Then you can cause great harm and set things off kilter for the whole, you know, the whole universal system, because we're all in sharing this body, this system, this solar system. So yeah, you have great effect on things, and because you're energy. So that is why you have to do this, like, expansion of yourself. You have to grow, you have to heal, you have to reprioritize what's important. You have to understand, like, I mean, all these people who, they go through these different processes of learning, and that's why the drugstore kind of thing drives me crazy. Let's just jump right into manifestation, because that's what's important. Manifest money, manifest money. We're trying to move out of that system where we value money, and especially it was a created enslavement system, and we're moving free from that. So why would you want to manifest? Whose money? What dominate? What kind of currency are you trying to create? Like, dollar is about to be worthless. So you want to create a million of these worthless pieces of paper to leave sitting around your house? Like, think about what you're really wanting in life. And that money is not the answer. Beauty is not the answer. It is about your connection. It's about love. It's about healing. It's about feeling good. That's what we want. We want security. We want safety. We want to not have to stress and worry about things. But that is the turning of the tides, where it's going to move out of their hands and into our own. And we are going to be more responsible for our what is that word? For, I've got a whole bunch of different words coming into my head. But for our own existence on this planet, you know, and our existence on this planet is changing. And we have to be in with the flow. We have to be a part of that change. And we have to know in our own hearts, we want to break free from this controlled, tyrannical system that is based on enslavement, and break free into a system that's based on freedom and love and abundance. But that also includes, like, manifesting what is good for community, manifesting, you know, like, if you want to make a lot of money, then manifest You know, go out and talk to the universe, whoever you think you're talking to, and ask them for innovative ideas so that you can bring something to the forefront to help humanity, and that you can receive the abundance for being the trailblazer of doing that. Because that is where we want to go. It's about taking responsibility, directing your energy, doing better things to create the better environment that we all want to live in, not just, you know, sucking off someone else's knowledge or sucking off someone else's energy. All of those things are like juvenile states of being as a conscious being, and we're moving into higher states of consciousness, and it does have to do with taking responsibility for our own growth and our own imprint in this world. The legacy that we leave behind is who we are when we leave the room. That's our legacy. We just left a legacy of that room, of who we are. We just did an imprint. So it's where what you're putting out is always what you should be focusing on, not how other people are affecting you. What are you bringing to the table? Because everybody else doesn't matter. It's you. You are your own superhero. You are the star of your own movie. So you make yourself into that star. You go out and you create the world to make you into what you see yourself being, but you have to value yourself. You have to see yourself as having value to get yourself to be the main stage player. You see what I'm saying? How it all kind of works together. It's your own value, your own way of seeing yourself is what keeps you back. Your own limitations from your ego of being judged. So it's always you holding yourself back. Once you claim yourself and you start really actually manifesting what is good for the community, what's good for the world, and you use it as really a tool to advance us, then you will start seeing things like you will get innovative ideas. You will have things fall into place so that you can have, you know, a business for your family, so that your family always has something, you know, to help them grow, to bring something good to the world. Like there's a lot of products that we're going to need when the corporations all cease to exist, and they're blowing up right before our face. I mean, you know, we're watching them. Destroy themselves. They're destroying themselves, just like the government's destroying itself. They are exposing themselves and destroying themselves. But in this process, we're going to have to be independent, and we're going to have to rebuild communities and figure out, you know, where we're going to get our products and what products do we really need. And so there's going to be a whole world opening up to people who are healed and ready to take the path and be the innovative leaders that bring the generations into the new world. So it's really exciting times. And the more that you really get in touch with your own spiritual connection, and the more that you put that out there, like, what can I do? What can I do to make things better in this world? This world's changing. How can I be, you know, a good part of that change? What can I do? How can I show my family, my grandkids, what part I played? You know, bring in those manifestations, because there's going to be so much. I mean, we really are headed for super exciting times. And, you know, there's probably a lot of things that we won't even need anymore. Who knows? But it definitely is the road that we want to be on. We want to all kind of gather on that same road, turn that path into an interstate as we all head in the same direction to create the beautiful world that we all want, where it includes freedom, abundance, love, unity, acceptance, you know, not having to work, just going out and taking care of yourself, you know. I mean, there's some parts where the homeless people had it right. Like, why do I want to go and work for somebody else when I'm just still struggling? You know, it's a question we all need to ask. And then we need to go in that direction to formulate the world where we don't need to live like that. There's no reason to live like that. So, anyways, have a great day. I know that's a lot of rambling, but hopefully it made some sort of coherent sense somewhere along the way. But have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.